Okay.
I'll just hang here. I've got to see if I've even got a pen.
The bad boxes said we cut the blinds. She does.
Oh, it's running out of the house.
Planning for them. It was a good idea. Went for the plan. It was a good pay, good opportunity. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's 6:16 and we call this meeting to order. Okay. Public comment? No public comment? Okay. Moving down. For the new members?
Marn,
Yes.
we're gonna interview Don Hutchins.
Okay.
We'll have an interview first.
So one interview.
Okay. Don, if you could come up here to the microphone.
Hello,
Hello. How are you, Mr. Don?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, good. Thank you. Okay, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in the DDA position?
My name is Don Hudgens, and I'm a real estate investor. I've got a few properties here, and that would be my reason for wanting to be on the board. To try to see if I can, help in any way with the downtown area.
All righty. Sorry, Mr. Don, I didn't have my questions with me today. But just going off the top of my head, okay, for the real estate, what do you think you could bring to the DDA as far as like new ideas or anything like that for
Well,
us?
at this time I don't know because I don't know enough about the DDA to answer that question properly.
Okay, yes, sir. All righty.
I mean, I've been in the real estate business for 40 years, so I do have a little bit of experience.
Okay, yes, sir.
I think I know what your two properties are, but I'm not sure.
Ma'am?
I think I know what your two properties are that you own, but I'm not positive. Did you say you own property downtown?
Yes, yes, I do. Oh, okay.
The
Main
hair
Street
salon,
and-
right?
No, that's, I think it was Huey's Five and Dime at one time, West Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
which one?
The
West
mattress
Montgomery.
store
Yeah.
across
Oh,
the
the
street.
mattress store.
Yeah.
Right, and then 305 Main Street, and then 208 West Montgomery, which is formerly the Bank of Billerica, old Bank of Billerica, the
Old
historic
Bank
bank.
of Billerica.
Where Mr. Tim.
Or buying it.
You got me.
What the-
You beat me to it.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Well, Michael, ladies, do you guys have any questions for him?
Yeah, I think some of the ones we went over with the other applicants is what do you think? I mean, you know the area, you've got property, you've been around here. What do you think is like the most pressing, I guess, issue for downtown right now?
There's a lot of different things that I can think of, and getting the right type of businesses here would definitely be a plus. If some kind of way the two sides could be linked together, and I don't know what the answer to that would be, but that would be a plus. I think everything the city is doing is going to help the downtown area with the new golfway, the new road for the golf carts. But I think one of the biggest concerns I see is the wrong type of businesses here.
Mhm.
They open up, they close, and getting it's like drawing somebody into a circus tent. You got to get people to come out and come into the city, and they have to have a reason for that. So there's, that's the only thing I can think of at this time.
Okay.
Let me ask, if you say the right kind of businesses, what kind of businesses do you think would attract people into the city?
upscale restaurant like Gabe's that they had, that would help. And I'm not sure on the other ones, just some, whatever type that it would take to get the people to come downtown, you know, and I think that would take time to explore that, in my opinion.
Mhm. Okay.
One other question was the city recently acquired the church right down the
I
street.
was aware of that, and the parking lot.
Yep, in the parking
Yeah.
lot, and then there's
Parking's a big issue that I see for the city.
yeah, and there's an education building across the street, but then behind that's another pre-engineered metal building in
Right,
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna buy that myself, but I was out buying, buying some stuff in another state, and I had my hands full, but that was a good move for the city. Y'all just beat me to it.
Yeah. What do you think would be a good use of those buildings or that parking
You know, I
lot?
think the parking lot, the buildings, you know, I think the church building, because it's on the historic site, so I think maybe a church would be good for there. And the other facility, probably something to do with the city of Villa Rica. They could use it for something to do with people who live in the city or the schools or what have you on the other building. But the strip behind it for the parking lot, if a parking deck could be there, built there, if there's enough room, because, you know, and that is another issue that the city has is parking. You know, it's hard to find parking spaces a lot of times, especially if they've got an event. And so parking would be one of the things that I would think on the list that the city needs.
Okay, cool. Yep.
I have another
But the
question.
church, a church would, you know, some church would make that an operational church. It's in a good spot.
Mr. John, I have another question. Obviously, you're in real estate, and so you understand about raising capital. One of the things the DDA needs to do is raise some funds in order to buy some properties and so forth to, you know, be able to lease them out or resell them or bring in the businesses and so forth. Do you have, with your experience, what would you suggest would be some good ways to raise some revenue for the
For the
DDA?
DDA? Well, you know, you would have to find the property that would be available.
Mhm.
And that, from what I can tell around here, that's very difficult.
Mhm.
And when something comes up in on the open market, it doesn't stay long. So, you know, any type of income producing property would be a good way for the DDA. And I don't know, I don't know enough about the
Right.
DDA. I don't know where you get your capital now, how much capital you got to work with, to buy properties with. And, I mean, there's so many questions that I don't know the answer to because I don't know enough about the board.
I understand.
Yeah, you asked me this question 4 or 5 months from now. If I were on the board, I could tell you that. real
We just
quick.
want to blanket, want to know how we can get some money, right?
Right. Well, you know, I make a living off of income-producing properties.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I do buy some and resell it, but primarily it's rental income is what I do.
And hold.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
That's all I got. That's good.
Okay. Do we have any move forward now? Okay.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Michelle, appreciate it. Okay, and when they vote, we're gonna need you to step out and we could, you know, wanna vote at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, we could do
Sure,
that
yeah.
at the end.
Vote at the end of the meeting. How about that? That way
Okay.
you can stay. Okay,
So we'll move down to number 4 since we don't have to make a vote yet on number 3.
well, David Rogers is down there eating a taco.
Okay.
Good
Good choice.
Talk to him, and I
We
guess.
could go down there and have some Mexican.
Right, we can take a break. No big deal.
Yeah.
So should I wait or move down to number 5? Okay.
Go to the next.
We'll skip number 4 for now and move down to number 5, the DDA opportunity discussion with Mr. Michael.
Yep. There was a lot. I think there's a whole lot of things on that. I don't know if you guys had a chance to dig through everything that's
lot of
there, but it's a lot of information. And to recap, Robbie's Tires, the owner's trying to gather the funding. Everything's in place. It's just a matter of funding to see who's there. So, I thought, is there an opportunity? I don't know what the level would be that the DDA could support this and then have ownership in it, but also, again, like we've been discussing, reap the benefits of financial gains and returns down the road. Looking at everything, there are pros and cons throughout the thing. I want to say the deeper I dig into it, I think that the rates that you charge for the tenants inside there, on a monthly basis, is way too high than what they're showing. It's only 350 square foot per tenant, and I believe the number's $2,000 a month. You're not going to get that for $350 a square foot for one person for a restaurant to build up and be in there. So I don't know where the discussion goes beyond, is it something that we want to be involved with or not want to be involved with? The scope would have to change, and I think some of the numbers would have to change as well. But was just curious, was there anything else you guys saw if you looked at the information and find more about it?
I looked at the information. I mean, as far as the game plan and how it's like laid out, it looks promising, but the numbers to me didn't make sense
No.
at all.
It scares me.
Yeah.
It scares me because this was something that they were going to do, and now they can't afford to do it, and they want investors in it, and then if we invest and then it flops again, then we're out money.
Yep.
And that
We don't have that
scares
kind of
me.
money like that.
No, it's inflated to a point that I would, as a DDA, I would say I don't think it's worth as is us investing and going into. But the alternatives are that he would get private investors and it can happen. I know one alternate is he wants to, if he could just sell the property, knowing somebody would take it over and do something like this, but sell it for what he's invested into it up to this point. That's an opportunity, but really, I think that's really the only two. And I think if he's going to pursue it, the scope would have to be reduced. Maybe it's not as big. Maybe it's just a portion of that what you build out, and then the cost would then be less, and then it might make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if the numbers get fixed and everything else, I would say it sounds promising, but again, just the way that where we're at right now, I don't feel like it would be something for us, me personally.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree with that. It's, the way it sits, it looks like it's pretty large and, and enterprise and going in. And I think, too, I think we need to look for those opportunities, but I don't think we can afford to take that kind of risk right now. If the numbers were to change or the actual,
I would say when
Use
he
it.
actually has like more investors or people.
well, if you knew
Morning.
what the percentage, like the different
Yeah.
kinds of percentages and different things, and then again, I agree with you, Michael, if it's 2,000 for 350 square, no, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And,
I love the concept of
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
but
I think it could still, the concept can still exist. I think it has to be either, reduced in scope or something different has to happen to make it happen, so.
right, right,
but
I
not
totally
for us
agree.
right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, okay,
Do we need to make a motion on that or anything? Okay.
okay.
All right, we'll move back up. If nobody has any other comments on that, we'll move back up to number 4 with our guest, David Rogers from the Villarica Development Authority.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name
Yeah.
is David Rogers. I live at 1001 East Bay Springs Drive here in Villarica. And I wanted to be here tonight and show our support from the Villarica Development Authority for your authority, for the Downtown Authority. And while we're in this time period of, trying to find things to do and things that we can afford to do and projects that benefit economic development and the downtown corridor and beyond, we just wanted to show, and I'm here also with colleague Rusty Dean is also on the Development Authority. And we wanted to come out tonight and show our support and also, open the door or let you know that our doors are open for possibly any type of joint venture where we could kind of work together on making something happen. If it benefits both boards or benefits the city in a positive way, that we were open to exploring ideas and possibilities with your board.
Were you gonna talk about this property at all?
Well, we can.
I included it in their packet.
Okay.
That 105 West Third Street, the photo of the building.
So one idea that we've been discussing is, possible opportunities that may be outside of an industrial category, which is primarily how the Development Authority has been operating. And I think we do have some latitude with the Development Authority if there is an economic value. Also, the Development Authority owns the old Georgia Power building, which is used by City Hall now, and we rent that back to them. And my understanding is somewhere in the future, a new City Hall may be built. And so that property would then become available to some degree. I'm not sure. I'm not privileged to all of the ins and outs of the future. I don't have a crystal ball, but
What, I think I put the wrong, it's not this property, is it?
it's not.
I put the wrong picture in here, scratch that.
Oh,
It's
it's
on
not
that
this one?
property behind it, sorry.
Is that the little sliver? I don't know what was on that little sliver, but there was this, the property that I had in mind is listed on the market, and it is, I think, about 1.5 acres with a 1950s brick ranch on it that is directly behind the parcel that I call it the boneyard, that's behind the police station, right back here.
Yep.
Now, there's a little sliver in the middle of it, but the piece behind it, in my
The big
opinion,
piece of property.
yes, that's bordered by the 2 streets, 3 streets maybe. That's a strategic location for future growth or development, especially as the boulevard or the street goes in to connect into Mirror Lake. So we just kind of wanted to be here and let you know that the Development Authority is available, and maybe there's something that we could get together on.
Yep.
Whether it's the Development Authority purchases property and somehow trade the interest or lease the interest or whatever it takes, because the Development Authority does have some resources. And the industrial side of it is kind of slow right now. So with the infrastructure and the sewer challenges that we have, and of course all the rock that we all walk on. So thinking outside of the box within the Development Authority, we kind of leaned on the legal advice on what can we do, what can't we do, what would be legal, and that's kind of where our group came up with the idea of possibly, maybe a joint venture could be in the future.
Okay.
And I can tell you that property in particular, we've ran some, or I have outside of DDA, ran some feasibility studies just in terms of potential zoning, if it was CMU, which I think it is or could be. I can't remember what it was, but if it was
Because I
CMU,
think we had discussed that property, well, we have discussed that property in the past.
yeah. And it's so I've got some data to support, what could possibly be there,
Okay.
especially since it's connecting, then it's prime real estate that's going to be right there.
Do you know anything about the little sliver that's in between?
I don't know.
That's something we could try to find out.
Yeah.
As like far as who owns the sliver or?
Well,
what?
the ownership, what the
Okay.
owner's intentions might be.
Yeah.
Could it possibly be, part of a transaction where I think that would be an important piece
Right,
of connectivity, especially for redevelopment.
yes.
And when you say the sliver, it's between what was the gravel parking lot and the property behind it? It's between those two spaces, or?
Let me try to see if I can pull it up. So
I'm trying to think too.
I'm trying to see it here, too.
I think it's where those dumpsters are sitting or behind them. There's a little rectangle. See if I can pull it up.
Cause that's the city, then there's Bryan. Cause this is what I got right here.
Okay,
that?
so we're talking this right here, right?
That right there?
This, right here?
Patricia Bryan is the owner of record. Is what I'm popping up.
I'm trying to
And there's a little house. It looks like 206 is the number that's popping up on here. It's a
Oh, wait.
Larmac Incorporated.
Talking about this, right?
He's talking about this ceramic.
Tom Large has that?
Larmac.
That's,
And
Okay,
there's a house on it, right?
That's
Yes.
There's a house,
Large.
okay.
that's Time Large.
that's right.
Yeah.
So that is, that, I don't know if that's an obstacle or if that's good or bad. It is a parcel in between the, the target that I've seen. And Mr. Rickman, you probably have, explored that maybe a little further in your leaking. But you know, progress and getting things done, especially in our climate that we're in right now, I think that, you know, coming together and maybe, sharing ideas or, joint venturing on something could be a path forward.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Having discussions never hurts.
They sure don't.
Because we all seem to have the same goal in mind. We're trying to make things better and actually
Yes.
do some things downtown. So, like-minded individuals that want to do that, we're all friends. So
We're all
we'll
open
do
to that.
Nice.
Yes.
I think opening up the fact of whatever projects you might, could share with us that you're working on and vice versa, would be good. Maybe just letting one another know and then seeing if there's interest on both sides to see if there's a way to collaborate or make it work together. Yeah, it's probably a
Absolutely.
great idea.
That'd
Absolutely.
be awesome.
Mr. Dean, would you like to make any remarks? Okay. Well, I
All right.
appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you for your time.
Just keep us in mind and we'll, hopefully we can get together, maybe have a joint meeting,
Will do.
and come up with some ideas. And I know how frustrating it is to go to your meetings every time and everybody has ideas and then you go to the next meeting and everybody has ideas and then that's how every
That's all they
meeting
are.
goes. So,
Ideas and ideas.
We're just trying to think outside of the box on our board of how we can maybe get something done.
Well, I'm excited. Thank you for reaching out to us because we, like Michael said, we are trying to make things happen in downtown. So connecting the both boards, that to me sounds great too.
And the Development Authority has a little bit more latitude maybe that where we could, find a way to make something fit.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Got something under other discussion.
Yes.
Under other discussion, I wrote it in, Finance informed me last week that the signers on our checking account are no longer on the board, so that if they have to present a check, they can't because there's no signers on the account. So we need to elect new officers and get that changed at the bank. DDA banks at United Community Bank. So we need to get authorized signers on it so that, I told them, we don't really write that many checks, but just in case a grant comes up, like a facade grant, I don't have any pending right now, we can't disperse the funds. I mean, we paid everything, so just want to let you know. I know there's 4 of you here, and then Ellen. We need to elect these officers like now,
Yeah.
and we don't have a full board here tonight, and I don't know if y'all want to go ahead and nominate tonight for officers. Keep in mind, as treasurer, the finance department does all the checks, prepares the financial statement. All you would have to do, you would get the financial statement from Amanda Long and just present it. It just shows what we've got in the account and all. That's really all you do. Secretary, you'll just take minutes and type up the minutes for the next meeting. And, of course, you're the vice chair, co-chair, vice president. But, you would conduct the meetings if the main president's not here. So we need to get that done like now. If
Okay.
y'all can do it today or.
I say we do it today.
Do you want to wait on if the other two members come on board? And, I mean, I hate to push it off further, but I don't know.
But would you want the new officers to be,
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
the
it
new
would be
members an
best.
officer?
We're always all four usually here, so.
I was a new member.
I know it, but you've been worked at City Hall and City Clerk
You have
and done all that. You know what you're doing. So you did minutes for years, but anyway, that's what I have. We need to get that done because they're after me about it. So, because Amanda, used to coordinate with the treasurer to get that report done. Not only that, it's not just for us, it's for auditors as well. And she has a time frame of getting that done. And it's been frustrating to her because only Rob Smith can get on and online, and he's not on the DDA anymore, but yet he can log in.
Oh,
So
that's
we've
not
been
good.
working with the bank, so if y'all could make that happen tonight or if we need to do a called meeting online or,
I mean,
whatever.
if we need to gain control of that tonight, we can
I
do
think
that.
we should
Because
do
we
that
can change
tonight.
some of these roles if we need to, right?
yeah.
It's not stuck once we do this, if we make a decision tonight.
It's not, it's not set in stone, like if we decide, whoever we vote on tonight, and if somebody comes else on board and they want to take that position, we can always switch.
Well, but if you're on the checking, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I don't feel like we should be switching around that
Treasurer,
much either.
secretary, chair, and co-chair. Is that it?
Do what?
Secretary, treasurer, chair, and co-chair?
Yeah.
Is that it?
And there's 4 of us here.
Yeah, chair, co-chair, treasurer, and a secretary. 4 positions. 1, 2.
Where she stay, where she is. She can be secretary, Michael can be treasurer, I'll be co-chair. How's that? Ellen, make a
Not
motion.
here, we can make her something.
Yeah, we'll just assign her a responsibility.
Well, you do, whatever position is, you've got to be in attendance.
Yeah.
Majority of the
Yes,
time.
exactly.
You got to be accountable. Okay, I just want to make that note.
I'll make a motion that we move our co-chair to our chairman at this point. All in favor? Anyone second that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
There. You just got a new position, there you go.
Well, thanks. So who's co-chair?
I'll volunteer to be a co-chair.
All right.
Okay,
I'll
All in
second.
Second, Michael?
all in favor?
I guess I'm stuck with the treasurer, right?
Yes.
You don't want me messing with numbers, though. This may change, but I can do it for a period.
All right.
Do what? You don't have to, because Amanda provides.
You just have
financial
to-
statement.
Oh,
Show up and look beautiful.
Design your own from what she gives you.
no. So I can do that.
That's why I didn't volunteer. I'm not
Yeah.
good with those either.
Yeah.
So Michael for treasurer? Do I have a motion for?
I'll second.
I guess so.
Just once a month. It's not much.
Okay. And then what are we missing?
And I'll get Regina at United Community Bank, so you all need to get together. I'll tell you what, I'll get Regina at the bank and see if they can start setting it up, and I'll be in touch with you. It could be that you can go there one at a time, because I know it's hard to get everybody there at the same time. How about that? And then you'll be
Are you
able
saying you
to
want all of
log
us to
in.
be signers?
Yeah.
All of us to be signers, or just, who do you need to be signers?
No, it would be
You just need, what, 2?
it was the.
The chair and treasurer?
So it would be you and I?
I think so.
Rob was he's on there.
Rob was the treasurer and Michael was the chair.
Michael Young.
Okay,
Yep.
wait a minute.
It was the chair
Okay,
and the
so-
treasurer. I'll find out.
Okay.
I'll find out. I'll get them to.
Because I know it was Michael Young and Rob on it, and I know Mr. Michael was the chair and then Rob was the treasurer.
I'll
yeah.
look at the bylaws again and ask the bank, and then I'll coordinate. with
Okay.
you. Thank you for doing that tonight.
And then we need to make a motion, I guess, to have Barbara retain her position as secretary, correct?
Yeah.
She does a really good
Who wants to
job.
second that motion?
Do I have to vote for myself?
No, there's three others.
Like me, when I'm nominated for something, I'll ask him how much is that job.
We give you lots of love and corn from the restaurant. I have corn for you for days. Okay. Do we need anything else on other discussions?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, so now we move back up to number 3 to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for coming, Don.
I didn't get all the motions and non-motions and all that, so.
So,
I didn't include his application in here, but y'all had it before.
So how does it work? You go through each one and say yay or nay? Okay.
so the first, I'm pretty loud anyways, but let me turn this back on. So the first one, our first application was on Douglas A. Lang. Mr. Douglas. What were your guys' thought on that?
I wasn't here, so.
Okay.
You said,
I-
did you meet the first one though? Or are we still up for discussion or are we voting for them? What's the, just voting tonight? Okay.
So, Michael, what's your vote on Douglas?
I'm gonna pass on Doug Lang for this one, I think.
Okay.
We need a quorum.
Right. All 4 of us, right?
Yeah.
I'm
So-
with Michael. I pass as well.
Okay.
What about you, Sandy? Okay. Moving on to the next one. Brandon Swafford. Michael?
I vote for Brandon.
Me as well. I vote for Brandon Swafford.
Okay, now we have 2 positions.
Okay.
Out of these 4.
Yes.
I would vote yes for Brandon.
I think I know Brandon, yes.
Okay.
Donald Swafford, Sonia Swafford's son.
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
school with Sonia.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have Dr. Westfield. I'll start again with you, Michael.
I would vote for Dr. Westfield.
Me as well. Mari as well. Okay, Sandy?
I would vote yes for Dr. Westfield.
Yes.
Okay.
We got Don Hudson.
So, do we need to?
And our last one that we had today was Mr. Don. Unfortunately, I vote no.
Yep,
Mike.
no for me as well.
Ladies?
No for me.
Okay, so Brandon and Dr. West.
Yes.
Okay. And I will take them to the city council meeting April the 9th for their consideration. And if they approve them, we get them sworn in by the mayor. They can join us at the April DDA meeting.
Should we look at the other 2 maybe as an alternate or alternative at any point? Or does everyone feel that it's a flat no?
For me, it's a flat no.
Yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable with the 2. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I moved it over. That's fine. I just said, should we consider the other 2 that we said no to as an alternate if for some reason the others were not approved or something happened? And I wanted to just know everyone was comfortable with their no's.
Applications are held in the
Okay.
square
Okay,
who applied, yes.
okay, so we
Do they
could
have to
revisit it
reapply?
if we
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah, because
Would they
you're afraid
reapply?
that they may say no, and then we're
Yeah.
back here, and then the months go down the road, and we're still missing one.
Those 2 happen if they can't participate soon. If they cannot participate soon, they wouldn't have to reapply.
Oh, right.
If it's like months down the
Yeah.
road, we would have to advertise again.
Okay,
Say
yeah.
It's in the next week or so.
Right.
But if it's months, we'd have to re-advertise.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Get more applicants.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So, anything, well, do we have to touch that topic of conversation right now? Anything for next month that we might want to discuss?
Did y'all want to talk about that property with Development Authority? Are you interested in working with them on that one?
I would love to just
I mean, I'm definitely interested
to learn more.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, share resources and just see
We can make something happen where we do anything with it. I mean, to me, the more the merrier, as long as we're all on the same page.
Yep.
And I feel like right now we're all on the same page, making downtown walkable, presentable, where people and families can come and enjoy. So from what he was saying, he has. Yes, ma'am. We did earlier, but we can revisit public comment if you like. Okay.
Does she want to make a public?
Yes. So, Mayor Leslie, would you like to make a public comment? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
There, it's on. And to listen to David say about partnering, it wasn't with Development Authority, but every city we went to visit as council when we went on tours, whether it was Duluth, Suwanee, Sugar Hill, they weren't quite apples and apples with us. I think they're rolling in the money up there or something, but it was a good partnership between the council and DDA in every city, and we all acknowledged it, and yet we never made it happen. Where we're communicating, I used to get y'all's minutes, need to do it again. I was getting them on council, and that's how, even if I wasn't here, I knew what y'all were talking about, what you were covering. And I don't want y'all to get discouraged, because hope, right? There's things we can do. When you talk about walkable, it's been now a good year and a half. Maybe it's going on 2 years since I met with a D-Jot, there. G-Dot, there we go. Rep in our downtown talked about, why can't we put up the flashing lights? What do we have to do? Because I kept running into roadblocks, so I thought, how to find out the truth. And that's, get them out here and get them face to face. We did. We put the other guy on conference call, talked about the roundabout at Punkintown, why, and I was even told then that it was going to get something reflective on it. It's this long. Nothing's done. I would be ready for us to say to them, if you guys won't do it, we will. Will you give us permission? Let's get it done, because it's safety in our community. It wasn't that complicated on what they were going to require of us to bump out a little bit off of 78 there. Yeah, it needed kind of a bump out where you cross near Candler. And eventually there is a plan for, and I've got it on video, pictures, on how we can make that track crossing work for us right in the middle. So it's not like you're going down that steep thing and you trip and fall right into traffic. Also adding the flashing lights over here near Hickstown, the crossing walk is just this side. I don't think we had to do almost anything there. I turned all the information into City Hall so they'd know what they said we had to do to make that happen.
I've requested that several times to administration.
And this needs to happen. And I just want you to know that I'm here to support you all, because that's what the citizens have asked for, and y'all are volunteering your time. I mean, everybody here, right, is like a volunteer. We may not be able to get you to volunteer anymore. You'll be off traveling the country or something. That's okay. I get it if I did what you did. But we can do this. The will is there behind the citizens and behind you all on the boards. We just have to make it happen. I know we don't have the money to do all of it. Oh, well, let's do like we do with our home budget. We do what we can.
Yep.
We improve things gradually.
Who'd you talk to with GDOT? Was it the main man?
I'd probably if I dug up the email, I'd probably remember who it was, because it was our regional guy, and then he put the other, it's been like almost 2 years. He put the other guy on the speakerphone, and we sat in that little office down at City Hall and talked about a number of things. And then he and I went out and went to locations. And so we were standing over there talking about what needed to happen. What needed to happen over here? Mm-mm. Yeah, not exactly to get across the railroad per se. We're going to have to deal with the railroad on that. But, you don't ever give up. What Villa Rica always did was it was the white flag. I saw it when I got on. I was like, oh, they're so powerful. We can't do. But you know what? When we got our state reps and senators together, and then they started getting the media calling them for quotes, and we had all three Bremen, Temple, and all of us were talking it up with our state reps. All of a sudden, they started not parking the way they had been parking and blocking for 3 days straight. At some places, they tend to not block Cleghorn like they used to. Still happens once in a while, but it's not near as bad as it was. And I didn't think they were subject to, or that they cared as much about their PR, but apparently they did, especially when the media started asking them for quotes. And like I said, our state guys were helping us too, and it was getting a lot of attention. What we think that they'll like, and I don't want to take too much time, and I've got a 7:30 appointment at my dining room table, believe it or not, with computers and open records reports and all kinds of good stuff to do for the night. But we believe they will like our plan because the railroad would be happy if we'd even close off crossings. What they don't like is people crossing willy-nilly anywhere in here. Our plan allows for like iron fencing on both sides so that people can only cross at the designated crossings, and the railroad likes that because it's less liability for them that somebody's going to step onto those tracks. And then we have an at-grade crossing. It has to do a switchback on that side because of the depths between the road. We have to do a switchback so it's handicap accessible. You'd be pushing uphill, though. And do an at-grade crossing because the fact that, the chance that we'll come up with the money to go over or under, and to be honest, if it takes you 10 minutes to go over, I don't know about you, but I'm not going that way. I'd rather just walk across the rocks and the tracks than have to go up some elevator thing or stairs and then get across only to have to come down when it's a 90-second walk. That's me. But, and it's all very expensive. And if we're going over, that's a lie. They're not crazy about us going over them either. So, but we do believe they'll like our plan. There is kind of a design for it. It's mimicked a little bit after Hapeville and what they did there with the railroad tracks going through. And so that's it. I just want you to know, we need to get it done. A lot of these things don't cost that much money. Oh, and then lastly, adopt a bench. I talked with you about it a little bit. This is a small thing. Maybe, and I don't know that we'd even need Main Street as long as somebody gives us the okay to unbolt all the decrepit benches that are around downtown. The whites that own the hangar and the flooring and all, they'll adopt a bench. I'll adopt a bench. I'll probably bring mine over to your house because you have a work area. We redo them with our own wood, stain them with matching color stain, everything else, reinstall them. I've got a grouter that lives in Ward 3 that would be, I think that's what it's called, that thing where you use where you can kind of, put the name in again. And I'm sure he'd come along and do that because he told me about it when we talked about it. And that's a little thing, but that and some greenery downtown will make a big difference. So, okay, I took more of your time than I need, but.
Well, real quick on what you were saying. I did talk to Miss Patty Pittman last year. She's with Safe Routes to School, and she works with US DOT as well. And she gave me her email address and everything for when we're ready to move forward for like safety paths and like school paths and like just sidewalks and everything for the school, something that we don't have currently accessible, that they will do part as long as we do our part as a city, call and do everything. She says they're willing to work, but you guys have to put in the work as well and keep calling and doing everything else.
Yeah.
So she had told me, and as far as everything else, she just told us to email her information, and they would come out here and walk with us and see what trails we're interested in, because I had even told her about the Nugget Trail that's going to be happening and all that. So just to get more, because I know you enjoy being on bikes and walking and everything as well, and so do I, and unfortunately we don't have much of that in Villa Rica. We have to go elsewhere. And me having a kid and everything, that's what I push strongly on for families to come enjoy. And she just told us for whenever we're ready, we can get back with her and just have another conversation.
Yeah,
to move
networking
forward.
like that is
Mhm.
wonderful, just like our local artists that are willing to do stuff. There's
Oh,
people
yeah.
that will step in their volunteer time and beautify things downtown,
Yes.
including high school students.
Oh, yeah.
You take the empty stores and you make them look welcoming, at least in the sense of maybe you paint something on the outside until they're occupied, and it makes them look attractive. If they have opening like the old stores where they'd have where you can see in the window and there's maybe some, do we even have anything left like that anymore? I don't think we do. But what they do with those is,
Sexy ladies used to be.
okay, where you just kind of put something in the window that makes it look alive, even though there's not a business operating there right there. Then it at least looks attractive rather than vacant.
Speaking of the Gold Trail thing, do you know, is there a group, because that's the only way it happens when there's a volunteer group that spearheads this. Is there anything started at all for the?
I am not aware of a volunteer group right now. I have saved the copy of West Georgia Living that had all the Carrollton people, including, now, we don't get, was it it's the, who is the family member down there? Where they got theirs done like
Yeah.
5 years early because of the Richards.
Yep.
It's the Richards. And the daughter, she was like the spearheading that committee. So maybe we don't get that, but you know what? They did it. They know the pitfalls. They ran into problems too where people who didn't want to be on the trail and now they're sorry they aren't because
Right.
they thought it would be a problem when really it increases the economic value on your property. So they've already been there and done that. So I think when we do it, we need to have people that talk to them because they've done it.
And I did last year and interviewed all of them because I wanted to start this and it's all in small chunks. You just start small and they
1
go
mile at a
hand
time.
by piece by
Yep.
piece. And they gave me the lowdown for how they did it, the cost. Typically, I know real estate folks and civil engineers that are ready to jump on board to spearhead this too. So
Yeah,
we
just
want to
need
do it,
the
but
will.
yeah.
Sounds like to me, our DDA, we need to get together and make a work plan.
We need a
What
workshop.
we want to work on and start working on these things, start moving it. I also
And we
wanna
should,
make
we need to get together, we need to have that combined meeting with the council and get, the joint team, development authority, whoever it is. The bicycle people are more about those other kind of
I
trails.
wanted to comment too on the benches. The benches downtown were years ago, was a DDA project. They were actually,
I don't want you to leave.
those
I have
benches,
a-
those benches downtown were actually bought by family members. So they're actually personally owned by families.
Because I know that was a
But-
sore topic for
But,
Miss Ellen,
but
too.
there's a few of those benches where the businesses are no longer in business. I've got them all wrote down. I was in the process of contacting them to see if, they paid for that bench. So before we start the adoption thing, we need to contact all these owners, because Jones Wynn, Ellen said that if we don't want their bench anymore, that they'll take it, they have a place for it. That's how I know that those businesses bought and paid for those benches. The city did not pay for them.
Yeah, and really, when I'm talking
Yeah.
about adopt, I didn't really even mean own it. I mean, like, I'll redo it.
Refresh-
So I think we
refresh it
just
up.
tell 'em,
Yeah, we-
you want your name on it? We're fine with you keeping your
When
name
you
on
adopt it, you're just adopting it to rehab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't think we needed these businesses that have been out of business for 10 or 15 years listed unless the family still wants it. But one of them is a video store. It was Brookside Video. Well, how long? That's been closed for a long time, okay? And it's a
30
bench
years?
downtown.
Wow.
No.
Is that the one that used to be on our property, the one that got burnt down
No.
by?
I think it
Oh,
was
okay.
down there
'Cause
close
someone said there
to
used to be a.
Lake Paradise Road.
Yeah.
Oh.
Down
okay.
101.
The sad
But-
thing is, I still know the member number that I
Yeah.
have for Brookside Video.
Yeah.
No joke.
So to me, I
So
would
weird.
like for us to, I know I'm not on the board, but I'm a staff person, to get us,
11:17.
get a work plan going. Like, we want to start working on the Nugget. We want to start on the crosswalks. We want to do adopt a bench program instead of, we just need to put this plan together.
We need to have, just like the city council takes a day and
Work
they have
session?
a work session.
Well, that's it. We all need to be present, and we have to get everybody together.
Can I actually make a statement real quick? I don't know if this is the right time or not, but as far as for the members who aren't present and frequently miss, what do we need to do to either have that member step down from the chair and actually put someone on that's interested? Or how does that work?
It's not on the DDA bylaws. It is on Main Street. Main Street, they can't miss no more than 3
I
or.
thought we had that in our.
Those DDA bylaws are very old. It even has the meeting date wrong, and I had it drafted ready. That was back when Michael Young was here.
Yeah, because I thought we had
And
worked
then
on
we dropped
reamping
it.
the
Yeah.
bylaws and
It
all
would
that
have
for
to
the
go on
same
the
reason.
bylaws. But we can work on them again, and y'all approve them in April, and then take it to the city council to adopt.
Yeah, I'm good with like rewriting the bylaws or like for so many misses, I feel like there should be consequences
Yes.
for not showing up to every DDA meeting. That goes for all of us, honestly,
Yeah.
because again, this is voluntary, but we're all taking our time, and if we're leaving our businesses or whatever we're doing, or at least let everyone know ahead of time, hey, I'm not able to show up today.
And for us to get things done.
Because, yeah, I feel like we're not going to get anything done if people aren't showing up to the DDA meeting. Yeah. And we got a lot done with us four today. I mean, we're making moves, power moves, and I feel like that's what the DDA is about. So if they're with it, then, we'll take them happily and but if not,
We're all care about our downtown, and it's clear to all of us that our council and administration has not been focused on the downtown like they are, the growth around here. But all these people coming to town, the connector from Lear Lake, we need something for them to do downtown. We only have these events that are getting ready to start April, but they're just once a month.
Right.
But what about the other times? What about during the week and all? Well, we're trying to finish Powell Park. We got hit with we're trying to finish it up as a green space, so you and I need to get back together, but just to make it a walkable, a place where people want to come downtown and stay here. That's why I'm doing some research to find those cities that have done that, where the city council adopted and put all this money into downtown to revitalize it and complete change. Yeah, we've got the railroad, but we can work around it. So it's just important to me that all these people moving in, we want to
Yeah.
get them downtown and keep these small businesses in business, because we've already lost one because of slow business, slow traffic. And, talking about Robbie's too, I've never been really excited about that location because of the Cheese Railroad crossing right across the street either. I just wanted to tell you that. That's
Okay.
Cool.
Well, if nobody has any other questions or statements, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
A motion. I'll second.
Okay. This meeting comes to adjourn, 7:09. I haven't been to
Buckhannon.
Buckhannon in that long, but yesterday I drove